The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55 Burgers, Shakes, and Fries. The Professional Fence Company. Our name says it all. No job too big or too small. Nunboys.com. And GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Glenn Young alongside head coach Tom Paris. How is step away to go to choir practice? I wonder if he can sing.
They say everybody can.
In the shower. But it is Wednesday night, so hopefully everyone's out there watching either via prayer meeting, choir practice is a case of how. But hey, we're here doing the Coaches Show right here at Highway 55. Burgers, Shakes, and Fries. Homecoming week, Coach. And when you look at homecomings, and one of the questions as we go into the Ask the Coach segment, homecoming is going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, it leads me into, when you look at some of the homecoming we may have experienced, we played college football in the 80s. When you look at the internet and social media, how big an impact has that been on high school sports, college football, recruiting?
Well, how big an impact has it been on society as a whole? I mean, it's huge. Twitter and
oh my goodness,
Facebook and all that other stuff. I Facebook a little, but it's just because of family and my daughter and my grandson and my college teammates, which you talk about that today. And but social media and the immediate information that kids have access to, and the ability for college coaches to communicate directly with kids on a regular basis, it's been huge. It's been huge on recruiting, and it's caused the NCAA to have to rethink because the limitations on contact that you can have has been radically affected by that. But homecoming week, I'm proud of our kids. I think they've done a great job of handling the week so far. We've had a good week of practice, and I know I've said that a lot, but it's the truth. I felt like yesterday we had a little bit of a lull, and I talked to them about that today before we got going, and we did pick it up. It was much better today than yesterday, and of course I tried to pour a little gas on their fire, and I told them I wasn't real sure if it was as good as it was on Monday, but it was definitely better than yesterday. But I think they've handled it well. I haven't noticed a great deal of wandering minds. Everybody's kind of been really dialed in on what we got to accomplish, but I think they know that they feel like this is one of the best opportunities that we've had if we play well to have a chance to have a good victory.
You feel like they've embraced the point of next man up, because definitely next man up. When you think when Brandon Smith went down, everybody just went into a lull. Now that Jacob's down,
I think they have, especially when they've seen what we're doing as far as our game plan goes this week, and how we've had to evolve due to Jacob's loss. There's no doubt in my mind, and what we're doing. We've got a good game plan. It's working well in practice. Our defense has gotten a little enthusiastic about trying to, hit us in the mouth on our offensive game plan, and they actually turned it into a little bit of a contest today. They were keeping score.
Well, I can imagine the defense. I mean, they've been taking it probably the worst over the season. They've been taking a lot of guff, and I imagine they're about tired of it.
Well, it was exciting today to watch because, all of a sudden I look around, they're an offensive team, and we're keeping score. And I'm like, wait a minute, how's this scoring system go? And then Sean Smog, they were talking about, it's 12-6 now, and it's 18-6 now, and then and then we had something happen and defense got the ball and they were like, all right, now it's 18-12, and I said, oh, so if y'all just take over the ball, y'all get 6 points. He was like, yeah, coach, we can't score. You're not going to let us. You blow the whistle. And I said, well, yeah. But there was a lot of enthusiasm. There's been a lot of enthusiasm all week, and they want to win. They want to win as bad as they ever have, and we continue to talk about earning what we desire and making sure that that's what we deserve.
Yeah. Next question, Coach. How are you doing? How are your coaches doing? Because I can imagine. Now, I know this is something that you've never been through before, the 0-7.
Right.
But how is Coach Coleman? How is Coach Jorgensen? Coach Walworth? How are those guys doing?
As bad as we want to win, we're realistic and private about the reasons why we're where we are.
Right.
And everybody is, the refreshing thing for me is everybody is working as hard as we were working in week 1.
That's great.
There's been no let up. One thing that we have to make sure of as a coaching staff, and we talk about this every weekend in our staff meetings, is our enthusiasm and our intensity level has to be evident. Because if it's not, kids are like sponges. They're going to absorb, and they're going to be a reflection of us. And so, we probably every week, and I noticed it this week, we've probably been a little bit more up-tempo each and every week. But we've had to be. Right. Whereas I've been a part in past seasons of programs where we were 7-0. And we're having to dial them down in practice. Right. Because you get 7-0 and you're kind of foaming at the mouth, and you really have to quick whistle things, and you have to try and rein them in because you don't want somebody getting hurt in practice because they're just going maniacal. But that's the thing about winning. When you're 7-0, it's
you gotta have the balance.
I guess it's like a heroin fix or something. I don't know, but you just want more. You want more.
You wonder about Pinecrest is 7-0.
Yeah.
What they're going through, and I mean their program almost folded a few years back. So it is what it is. We talk about strength of schedule and who they play, but we're gonna get an opportunity to play them right after we play Scotland next week. But this week is Lumberton. It's funny, you play the Buccaneers, then the Raiders, and now you're actually gonna play the actual Pirates, but all of them got that same theme behind.
Yeah.
Have you heard too much from your fellow coaches out there? Everyone needs encouragement. And I imagine they've been quite positive towards you. But some will be like, hey, man, what the heck are you doing down there?
Everybody I've talked to, and I talk to a lot of friends every week. And, I was talking to one of my college teammates a few weeks ago. And, and we were talking. He said, you sound kind of down. And I said, well, I'm 0-5. And he said, well, stuff like that's going to happen when you play a Division I schedule. and
that's true.
Do what?
I mean, we have.
He said the likelihood for that to happen when you play the kind of schedule y'all got to play is always there. And I said, I know. I said, but it doesn't help me deal with it any better.
And then go play your conference. Do you have any regrets about that, the schedule? I mean,
no.
You play who you play, but I mean, you want to find out what you got. And if you go 10-0, like I said, you lose in the first round.
Well, and you look at it, if you eliminate the bizarre mistakes that we've made in games at critical points in time, there's a chance that we're 6-1, maybe 5-2, even 4-3. I can think. We were in the New Hanover game for a great deal of it. We were in the Southview game the whole way, and we were in the Rocky Mount game the whole way. And if you go back and analyze that film, it's not that I don't think any of those three teams beat us, but we did things.
We beat ourselves.
We did things that robbed us of our own momentum that we had. We did things that essentially poured gas on the fire of their enthusiasm, and we've just got to we got to execute better. We got to play well, and but as far as our schedule, I mean, we inherited the schedule was what it was. We changed 2 teams, and I don't know. There wasn't an opportunity to schedule anybody else other than the ones we got. So
it was ironic that last week on the What's Happening Hoke Show, every Thursday at 4 p.m. at Rockfish Motor Speedway, we were talking about the goals. And one of the things I wrote down, I was talking to Hal, and the guy saw the heat. I said, hey, every year, coaches got to look at state championship, or it's a failure. Playoffs, or it's a failure. Conference championship, or it's a failure. And he said, well, Glenn, you say if you're doing conference, you didn't have a good season, that the kids are a failure? I said, no, the kids are not a failure, and you have not failed because you keep trying to meet those goals. And it was ironic when I talked to Coach Grooms as we came back from the JV game. He said, Glenn, those same goals are in our weight room. So, I mean, it was almost like a harbinger. I mean, that's the goal every year. Well, you got to get them to buy into that.
We break it down into 4 phases: preseason, pre-conference, conference, and postseason. We want to be successful in all 4 phases, but it starts with the first one.
Right.
Technically, some people call it a 5th season, and with the off season, we don't necessarily look at off season as off season. We look at off season as really a ramp up time for us, where we're going to really focus and work hard in the weight room, and our running program, as you so very well know, is maniacally aggressive. We're going to do those things. We're going to work hard. We're going to make them work hard together. And the funny thing is we don't have to make them do it. They get out there and they do it, and they enjoy working with each other, and that breeds unity. But then it's got to transition into the execution in preseason, which helps you build momentum and makes you better for the pre-conference or the non-conference schedule. And then of course that should be designed to get you where you want to be for your conference schedule, and then obviously based on the success that you've had in your non-conference and your conference. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to win a state championship.
Right.
Prior to that, though, you have to set your sights on a conference championship. Certainly winning a Southeastern Conference championship is a great start towards a run for a state championship. But in order to do that, you got to have a good non-conference showing. You got to build momentum. You got to be complete. You got to execute well. You got to get better every week, and we're doing that. It's not as easy to notice when you look at how good our competition is. Our competition's good. It is good, and evidenced by the degree of difficulty and the rating on our schedule. But I'm proud of our schedule. I'm proud of our schedule. I'm proud of how our players have responded to it. I'd like for our record to be a lot different right now, and so would they. And everybody, players, coaches, everyone, we're working as hard as we can to try and turn it around. Nobody likes looking at a goose egg in that left-hand column.
No, they don't. How important, as you finish each season, as you finish the non-conference schedule, and then you start the conference, and after the conference, the playoffs, and then beyond, to get them to buy in and say, hey, we're back to 0-0. This is back to week 1. This is August. To get them to say, hey, we're starting all over again, that part is done.
It is. Well, and the beauty of it, you look at our league, and half of the league's undefeated, and half of the league's winless.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So with that, it is a new season. Does your non-conference record figure into your playoff seeding? Yes, it does. But the bottom line is to get to the playoffs.
Right.
And the beauty of it is we win this week. We concentrate on winning out. We're in.
Yeah. And week 2 of the conference play, Lumberton, and then of course Scotland, and then Purnell, Sweat, and Pinecrest. Let's go on to the players of the week, Coach.
Okay.
Offensively, did we have a player of the week?
We did not.
Did not.
Are you surprised?
No, I am not. Defensively, who we had?
Defensive player of the week was a guy we've already talked about, Jacob Drebnick.
Jacob Drebnick. And this is a transplant guy from
Garner.
From Garner.
Yeah.
Okay. Special teams.
We had 2 of those.
Okay.
We felt like not having an offensive player of the week, it afforded us the opportunity. We had 2 really good performers on special teams. One was, I told you who they were. Who did I
Chase Jackson?
Chase Jackson, absolutely. Chase Jackson, which, and we talked about this earlier, Chase played probably his best game all season.
Yeah,
and
the one-handed catch was something.
And the other was Marcus Jackson.
Marcus Jackson.
And that was another injury we did not
No
talk
relation.
about. No. Marcus tweaked his ankle last week, and he has not been able to practice this week. So, we've had to work some other folks in Marcus's places. But
yeah. So it's next man up.
Next man up.
It's homecoming week. It's Lumberton. 7 o'clock, 7:30 kickoff Friday here at Raz Archer.
I was going to say the game moved to Fayetteville.
But the JV game is 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yes.
As we go over there for how are your JVs doing?
They're fine. They're practicing just as hard as the varsity is. It's business as usual, day to day.
Well, definitely I want to check out the JVs tomorrow at Lumberton High School, and then of course Friday at Raz Archer Stadium, right here at 7:30 for kickoff. Coach, as always, appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.